Step number 23. This brings us to installing our transmission unit onto the skid plate. Now, I want you to take a look at the skid plate here, and we need to orient this properly. As you can see, there's 4 holes here for the transmission to mount on, and you need to look because it's not in the center. What you're going to want to do is hold this unit just like this, so that there's one square to the front and 2 squares to the side. And if you take a look, there's 1 square down and 2 to the back. So let's orient this exactly as you see it in my hand right now. We're going to mount the transmission onto it, as you see here, with these 4 holes are going to line up. Remember, hold this exactly as you see it. Those 4 holes are going to line up here, and we're going to put our screws in. As you're looking at this, there are 2 different screw sizes. The longer ones are going to go towards the top as we're holding it. Again, we're just rotating this around. The other way to locate where the 2 longer screw goes is they are wider than the bottom 2, where we're going to put the smaller screws. So just thought I would mention that. I'm going to go ahead and put one of the screws in and get this started. I always have a hard time finding blind screw holes. No comment. There we go. Get one started, we'll be all right. So I'm going to put this one in just till it touches. That'll allow me to slide this around and match up the other holes. And again, the longer screws go to the 2 holes that are separated farther apart, which are the first 2 we're putting in. Snug it down. And then the 2 shorter screws are going to go into the second 2 holes that are closer together. Why there's 2 different sizes and 2 different wrench sizes, I guess that is up to the engineers. Okay, so those are in, just like so. Now, that's how our transmission looks when it's mounted to the skid plate. At this point, we are going to now have all sorts of fun. It's going to be difficult to hold this stuff up to the camera because of all these links that are floating around, but we're going to attach our front axle to the skid plate. The front and the steering is going to go towards the slipper cover. The back is going to go towards the back of the motor. And the first thing that we're going to do to hook these up is we're going to insert a couple of longer set screws. I can see this being difficult when we have a lot of different stuff hanging off of the skid plate. So let's go ahead and insert these and get them ready so they're not falling all over the place. And these are going to insert into these little cutouts that are on the bottom here. And they are going to come through and they're going to hold these links in here. So let's see if I can do this for the camera. Oh, yeah, we're going to slide those in, and then later when we hook it up, it's going to thread itself in. So let's go ahead and slide those in and keep an eye on them so they don't fall out. But we'll go ahead and do that now. The second thing that we're going to do is to install our drive shaft onto the output of the transmission. We're going to do this first so we're not trying to hold a million things up. And that's going to go onto this shaft right here. And as you can see, there's a hole. As you can see, there's a hole in that shaft. And we're going to align the hole up in the universal and then put in a shoulder screw. I'm going to set this down. It's really hard to hold and put this stuff in, but we're going to grab one of the shoulder screws and we're going to put a little bit of Loctite on the thread. And put this on. As you can see, it's now on. Alright, now the fun begins. Let's try to line everything up and get everything going here. We are going to put this down with the servos up in the air. And we're now going to flip this around with the shaft forward, and at this point we're going to realign the shaft and put it back inside of the second part. And we are going to slide it in. Now, we need to take, let's start with the outer links. And on mine they're metal, or the upper links. With mine they're metal, because I decided to do the upgrade. And with yours they are possibly plastic. And those are going to slide into the upper portions here. Let's see if we can back this up. Those are going to slide in right here. And you're going to grab one of your screws, put it in and tighten it up. Supposedly. Okay, for some reason the screw is not wanting to go through. And I'll bet that's because I'm using the metal balls on here instead of the plastic ones. Okay, I'm going to revisit this and be right back. Well, sure enough, that's what the issue was. For some reason, the screws that are supplied in here do not want to go all the way down through a metal ball. So what I did was I replaced my metal balls with plastic ones. I think later on maybe I'll put the metal ones back and use a machine screw in there. But for now, that's not what we're going to do. So what I did on this side, we're going to go ahead and repeat on this side. And this goes into this upper area here. Go ahead and put our screw in and tighten it up. See, when we're building here, we share our mistakes, because if we have something go wrong, guaranteed somebody else will have the same thing go wrong too. So we're going to tighten that one up. Now we're going to visit the bottom links and turn this over. I guess it wasn't such a wise idea to put these in earlier. So if they fall out, just grab them and deal with it. So we're going to line the bottom links here up into this slot. It's supposed to fit in there. There we go. We'll rotate it around. We'll set screw through and screw it in. I'm only going to give it 4 or 5 turns because I don't want to go all the way through. There's nowhere for that to bottom out, so it's possible to run it too far in. So just go ahead and give it several turns, but not too many. We'll repeat the process on the second side. And screw that one in. Hey, we're starting to get something that resembles a crawler here. Okay, so that is what it looks like so far. Whether it's right or wrong, I guess we'll find out later. Doesn't seem like a lot of twist in there. Oh well, we'll figure it out. But that's that. Now, to move on to the next step, which is step number 24, we're going to do the same exact thing on the rear. The links hook up in the same way and in the same place. So let's go ahead and get those hooked up, and we'll be right back to start on step number 25. Alrighty, we got step number 23 and 24 done, and this is what it looks like. See, we have the top links in here. The bottom links go in here with the little set screws. And we've got the drive shafts on, both the front and the rear. And that's what it looks like. Alright, on. Now we're starting to look like we have a crawler. So we're going to get all of our pieces and parts out, open bag E, and get started on step number 25.